So let's take a look at the ribbon microphones, starting from the Roger 101. The Roger has a great sustained sound with rich low end and a nice amount of ambience. Now let's move on with a much deeper Octava ribbon. The Octava has a nice body too, with a more crunchy top end. It's also more dry with less ambience. It's quite nice, but not as smooth as the Roger. Let's move on now with a completely different active design of the Woodpecker from Blue. I think the boosted upper mid-range is flattering the finger-picking sound. Very crispy and detailed sound. Now let's move on to a more jazzy style theme. Well, the Roger has a very creamy and smooth sound with very nice harmonics. Really nice sound. Let's move on to the Octava now. The Octava sounds a bit too raw, at least for my ears, a bit unfocused, and it lacks detail and clarity. Of course, this is my personal opinion. Now let's move on to the active Woodpecker. Well, I really like the way the Woodpecker handles the transients. It seems very accurate, a bit aggressive though, but definitely has a presence that I like. Now let's bring up the rhythm a bit with more funky stuff. I think the Roger is doing great on this kind of stuff with a very well balanced sound and really nice ambience captured by the mic. Let's move now to the Octava. Nice ambient and punchy, really similar to the Roger. Maybe a bit more aggressive and raw sounding. Well, the Woodpecker has a really nice edgy attack sound from the peak, but I found the microphone sounding a bit too thin compared to the other two. Now let's move on to our reggae theme. The Roger has a very nice solid body with really nice transient response and a nice amount of ambience. The ML52 from Octava is kind of weak compared to the other two ribbon mics. Probably not the proper choice for this kind of stuff. The Woodpecker has a very bright and impressive sound on the upper mid, however this makes it sounding a bit weak on the low end. It's really nice sounding though for this kind of stuff. So far, ribbon mics seem to be a great choice for miking a guitar amp, despite the differences between them, but let's hear another example. The Roger Run One seems to be a perfect choice for a clean arpeggio guitar with a perfect sonic balance and a very smooth response. Now let's move to the Octava ML52. Once again, it's pretty similar to the 101, a bit more crispy on the top end, and maybe a bit weaker on the low end. It's very interesting to see how different each mic handles the different playing styles, although we are having mainly the same guitar sound all over. Moving on to the Woodpecker, we have a more detailed and open on the top end sound. A more electrified sound if you prefer, really nice and detailed. The figure 8 pattern of the ribbon mics really complements the guitars by adding depth and ambience to the sound. Now a completely different playing style. The Roger Run One once again has a very smooth and even response, both regarding transients handling and frequency. The ML52 from Octava, on the other hand, sounds a bit too raw. With some resonant and annoying frequencies and ringing. Finally, let's see the Woodpecker with its nice and solid modern sound. More airy, with nice aggressive transients cutting through the mix. Definitely a nice choice for such playing style.